Hello, my friends. You are right here at KHTS, your hometown station, and this is Sharon Brubaker, Advanced Certified Grief Recovery Specialist, and you are listening to the Grief Recovery Hour, and I am so honored to have you here. I'm so glad that you're here. If you're listening to my program today, there's a huge probability that your heart may be broken. It could be from a grief of a death, either recent or long ago, could be from the breakup of a romantic relationship. And as we're going to talk about today, it could be from one of the 40 or more known losses that we know can cause a grieving experience. Regardless of the cause of your broken heart, I'm not here to tell you how it feels because you already know. At best I can tell you, I really know what it felt like when my broken heart occurred, and it was not good. I have some great news, guys. We are Facebook Live. So if you have any questions, please jot them down in there. If we can't get to them during the show, I will definitely go back and answer them afterwards. I have an amazing guest today. A really cool lady. Hey, Reneé.
Hey, Sharon.
This is Reneé Kaehny. Reneé and I met right here at the station, I think. Through the station,
Through the station.
Through the station. Mm-hmm. And we became instant soul sisters.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. We thoroughly love each other and love being around each other and when we see each other. And even though it's not that often, it's like we never missed a beat.
Exactly. That's the best friendship, right?
Yeah. It's so cool.
Low maintenance.
Yeah, total low maintenance. What brought us together is we both have experienced losses. I had a nephew that died in 2006, and Reneé has experienced loss as well.
Yes.
And what we're going to share about today is how we had our losses, but how we got through those losses at this time of year. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's so important, right, Reneé?
Yeah. Yep.
And it's kind of funny because I had done this show earlier in the month, like in November, but Reneé reached out to me. She's like, hey, girlfriend, this is the show you need to do. And I was like, you know what? She's so right.
Yeah.
You're so right, because we can't talk about this subject enough.
Right.
With grief. Because a lot of people don't realize that this time of year really triggers them. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I was reading something the other day that even being in Target or Kmart or Walmart and just looking at a pair of socks can trigger your heart.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah. How many times have you sat in a car in Target crying? Can't go in.
Yeah, I can't go in. And we're laughing at ourselves, guys.
Yeah.
We're definitely laughing at ourselves. So
Yeah.
I just want to share a little bit about my first year, that holiday without him, without Austin, was like, I wasn't really sure where we were going to go, what direction we were going to go in. And I distinctly remember, and this happens a lot, sometimes people try to numb out.
Yeah.
And just act like that holiday is not even happening. And so I absolutely cannot tell you what happened on Halloween. I don't know. Because I think what we did, we all just went in our own separate directions. But for Christmas that year, my sister called us and she's like, I'm not doing this without you. And we all went over to her house. We all wore our ugly pajamas and we spent the night. And I'll be honest with you, Reneé, it was still sad, but we were together.
Right.
And that's what was so important. And that has set our new tradition. That's our new tradition for now. That's what we do now for Christmas. On Christmas Eve, we get together and get out our ugly pajamas.
I love it. I love it.
So that's what you and I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Is like some different ideas of people that can help themselves through the holidays, right?
Exactly.
So one of the things that I want to talk about first is that the holidays not only can go through in a blur, like what I just talked about, but sometimes the second year is worse than the first. And the reason that is that it's almost like you gave yourself permission on the first holiday to just be in pain or to get through it. And sometimes what happens is we tell ourselves that on that second holiday, it's going to be better or easier, and it's not.
Correct.
And the other thing that happens is that it absolutely is, the reality sets in. The reality that they're not coming back. And that makes it a lot tougher. Mm-hmm. And so I want to give space to everybody. If this is you that I've just described and you're out there, we hear you, we know you're there, and this show is definitely going to be for you. So, Reneé, do you think people can cut themselves a break during the first holiday?
I think they really need to give themselves a break during the first holiday.
Yeah.
You know, and I think for a lot of us, like, we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you know, it's just, you're just trying to blur through it and, like, I just got to get through it. And I think that's why when I talked about, like, doing the show today was, you know, how to help people thrive, not just
Yes.
survive through it.
Yes.
Because some of us drank ourselves through it.
Yes.
Some of us ran from it. Some of us do all of those things.
Right.
And so much more. So I felt, the first year, like you said, I don't remember it. I remember it's awkward because some people don't know what to say or do. I think most people. So, they wouldn't talk about him. People would kind of like afraid to mention his name, and that's really challenging. For us, I'm thankful. Like I put his stocking up.
Yeah.
And I put Nick always carried a book, oh my gosh, I just thought Neverland, the whole Peter Pan series. So he had this book, and he always kept it in his pillowcase and took it with him. So we keep that in his stocking. Every year I put it in there, and every year I put a piece of candy in there that he liked. It's because that's my way of saying you exist.
I love that. I was just with a woman the other day, and she had a recent death and didn't know she should put up the stocking. And we were talking about it. I was
tough.
like, absolutely put up the stocking.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. We don't know what to do.
Right.
We don't know what to do.
There's no rule book. What do you do?
There's no rule book.
What do you do?
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah.
So Reneé and I are here to tell you we've walked this path before you guys.
Yeah.
And you can do whatever feels right to you.
Yes.
We're here to guide you through it
Yes.
and do whatever feels right.
There's no right or wrong.
Because some people won't want to put up the stocking, and that's okay.
Right. Sometimes it's just too painful to do those
Yeah.
things. Sometimes it's too painful to stop and look at a picture in the hallway. Other days you can handle it. And every day is so different. And that's, I think, one of the things I really want people to know is that it's okay. It's okay to have those tough days, and it's okay to also realize, and it's okay to not be sad. I was just talking to somebody about that today. Like, some of us, probably most of us, at some point or another will have a day where, oh gosh, I feel good.
Yeah.
Or I laugh. Like, we can laugh now.
Yeah.
And giggle about things and kind of joke about it, which some people might think that's kind of weird or morbid.
Yeah.
But we're at that place now where it's a little easier. And I want you guys to know that's possible. But, and if you have those, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Don't feel that guilt of like, oh my gosh, I feel happy. I shouldn't feel happy.
Yeah.
My person's not here, or whatever your loss is. It's okay. It's okay to be happy.
Yes,
It's okay
absolutely.
to be sad.
Exactly. And I think what most importantly is we have to let our body and our brain do what it wants to do and enjoying that. So one of the things I want to talk about is like set up either a small ritual or keeping with your traditions. This is sometimes where we had turkey and ham every year, and my dad made the turkey and ham every year. And this year I don't want to make turkey and ham.
Yes, we just experienced that actually at Thanksgiving. We lost a very close friend to our family, and he was always Bruno was always hovering over Mike when he was in the kitchen cutting up the turkey and having the first taste of everything. And Mike said, who's going to hover?
Right.
And, oh my gosh. And, our 7-year-old grandson said, I'll hover. So, but it is those little moments, those little details that meant a lot to us and still will.
Yes, absolutely.
And each year's going to be different.
And each year is going to be different. That's so important.
Yeah.
The traditions don't have to be perfect.
No, they won't be.
They won't be. Oh, I'm so glad you
Have they
said
ever been?
that.
Have they honestly ever been?
I'm so glad you said that.
Oh my gosh.
I'm the one that I was always wanting to make it perfect, and then it gets stuck in my head, and I start running around.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. If you visualize it's going to go a certain way, I can guarantee you it's not going that way.
Yeah.
But be okay with it.
Right.
Be okay with letting it go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'll tell them more about that later.
Stuff we can't say on
You
air.
have to let it go.
Yeah, you have to let it go.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Don't compare to your past holidays. Don't compare to your past holidays when they were there or when he was there or when she was there. Don't compare to that.
Yeah.
Embrace the new. Embrace the new normal.
Yeah.
Embrace the new normal of your holiday. And it doesn't have to be in pain or lack.
Yeah.
It just has to be new.
Yeah.
Right?
And new traditions are fun.
Yes, they are fun. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's okay. Like we also, at our holidays, we try to talk about our gratefulness. I put out paper on our table so people can write what they're grateful for. And we mention the people that aren't there. And we're thankful for them because of the memories, the good memories.
Yeah.
So trying to keep it not necessarily so heavy.
Absolutely. The other thing I want our friends to know is that if you do make a change for the holiday, that change doesn't have to be permanent.
Right.
You could change it up this year just because you can't go look at the lights on Friday night before Christmas because it will be too painful. My friends, it is absolutely okay if you cannot do a tradition that your family always did and you're just not in it this year. By all means, please don't do it.
Right.
And do know that that could be a tradition you bring back next year.
Yeah.
Or even a change or a tradition that you do set. It doesn't have to be permanent. It's just to get you through this one special time, this one different holiday. And that, I think, is so important for people to understand.
Yeah. I don't know about you, or your family, but for us, like, I just couldn't bring myself to doing like a Christmas card.
Right.
Or a family portrait. Because
Yeah.
it felt so incomplete.
Yeah.
I still struggle with it.
Yeah.
You know? So there's just some of those things, and that's okay.
That
You
is
know what?
totally okay.
You didn't unfriend me because I didn't send you a card this year. You know? Maybe I'm going to send you a
Maybe you
text
did,
to
and I don't know, and that's okay. So,
Yeah.
okay, so it was very important for Erica to do a Christmas card. Okay, so see, look at the two
Yeah.
differences. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that you didn't, but she did. Now,
Right.
I did not, but Erica did. The one thing she did do is Austin carried around the General Lee, that little orange car, you know.
yeah.
So in her photo, she has the General Lee in the photo. So
Love
her
it.
youngest son is holding it on his lap.
Yes.
And everyone, when they got the Christmas card,
Amazing.
knew what it meant.
That's amazing.
Right?
That's amazing. That's what I was searching for
Yeah.
all the years. Something
Yeah.
that would signify that
Yeah.
they're still there,
Yeah.
but not in such a way that felt awkward.
Yeah. And she did say that going there and
I
doing
love it.
that was painful,
Yeah.
but that it was really important to her.
Oh, I love it so much.
It was important to her also because having the smaller children in the home, like letting them see some of the traditions we're going to carry on. And just because Austin wasn't there, these traditions weren't going to end.
Right.
That's also important.
It's to teaching them how to
Right.
grieve, right?
Right,
How to keep
exactly.
memories alive.
The other thing is having them come up with some of the new traditions. It's important to get our children involved. Look at how
Yeah.
your 7-year-old grandson jumped right in.
Right.
Right? Sometimes when the traditions are going to change drastically, have a family meeting. Have everyone sit around the table and talk about what the new tradition should look
Love
like
it.
or what we would love for it to look like. How fun would that be?
Yeah. And that just takes it out of that. Because, like, in our household, I remember that first year, nobody talked about stocks. We didn't know how to talk about it. And we had that weird, fearful thing of, like, I don't want to upset you or I don't want to say the wrong thing. And so strange. You
Yes.
know? And we've grown so much since that.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God we got through that.
Yeah.
And, you know, nobody really talked about it. You know,
Yeah.
where now, like, we do, and we talk about it, and, like, Bronson helps put the stuff in the stocking.
Yeah.
He's changed some of the traditions in our household, too.
And Nick
you
is
know?
alive for Bronson because
Totally.
of that. He has a spiritual
Yeah.
relationship with his uncle because of that. That's
Exactly.
beautiful. That's
Exactly.
really beautiful. We need to look at this, my friends, as an opportunity. As an opportunity to, I know a lot of you are just getting through, but an opportunity to get through. An opportunity to be there for our younger children in the home,
Yeah.
our friends, our families. Sometimes it's our spouse that's having a hard time.
Right.
And we need to look at it as an opportunity for them. I remember us all looking towards Erica to see what she was going to do. And so people are also going to be I bet they were looking at you. Okay, whatever
yeah.
she does, that's what I'm going to do. And we're setting the tone,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Yeah. So you're really setting the tone for what that is going to be for you. So I think that's also really
Right.
cool.
So if you need to hear their name or, you know, talk about a situation, it's kind of up to us because we're going to be the guide,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Because we found with our family, nobody's going to say anything. Nobody's going to talk about stuff unless we do.
I just met
So we
with
give them permission, right?
Yeah, exactly. I just met with a gentleman, and his son passed away, and I said his name, and he said to me, "Do you know no one has said his name to me in over 3 or 4 months?"
Yeah.
And he just started bawling.
Yeah.
It's okay to use the names of the person that's no longer with us. It's okay.
It's super
and we
important.
want to hear it.
Yeah.
I want to know you're thinking of Austin. I wanted to know people were thinking of Austin at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's beautiful.
Yeah. What you and I are talking about is having a plan. We're talking about not allowing the holidays to just hit you in the face, but to have a plan. But let's say, Reneé, what if your plan is, I'm just going to sit in the house, close the door, and act like it doesn't exist?
probably not the healthiest idea,
Yeah,
right?
right.
But there's times where you just need to.
Yes.
You need to decompress. And sometimes,
Yes.
I remember the first year or two, it's a great question, because the first year or two, I remember that, being invited to parties, being invited to things, and I feel like that obligation
Yes.
to do that for our friends and family. And I finally had to come to the thing, like, that doesn't make me feel good right now.
Yes.
And I'm not in the best, I'm not the best company
Right.
when I'm like that. You know?
That is exactly what I was looking for. Then if that's your plan, that's
Yeah.
your plan.
And
Be
it's
okay with it. Yes.
And you just have to be real clear with people and say, you know what, I'm just not there right now.
Yeah.
And
it's okay to turn down an invitation.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I still do.
Exactly.
'Cause sometimes
And
it's overwhelming.
if your plan is to stay in the house and not do nothing, let people know. Let others know.
So they're not
okay?
worried about us,
Yeah, so
right?
they're not worried. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Just when we get quiet, sometimes they worry.
Identify with all the individuals that you're going to be spending the holiday with that, hey, I changed the traditions this year. This is what we're doing. Because it's really important. If they were looking for that turkey and that ham, and
got
they get
tamales?
there and you got pizza,
Pizza sounds
they
great.
might be a little upset.
That's true.
So I think it's really important to let everyone know, right?
Would it be BYOT?
Yeah, exactly. And we talked about involving family and friends, which is
Yeah.
really cool. And that maybe your plan could be, I'm not making the turkey this year, but feel free to make the turkey and bring it.
Or, and if and making sure you're reaching out to because maybe you're not the griever, maybe your friend's the griever.
Yeah.
Maybe your family's the grieving people. So to reach out to them and make sure they're okay, or
Right.
do they have somewhere to go?
Yeah.
I think that's really important too.
Yeah.
We like to include our friends and family.
I know that a lot of my clients they like to have a place set for their loved one, right? So they like to have a place set at the table, and they think that's
nice.
really cool. And if that's what you guys decide upon, and everybody's like, yeah, let's do it, then by
Yeah.
all means, do it.
God, you could put some really cool stuff on the
Oh
place setting.
yeah, oh yeah. You could put
That could
some
be
really
fun.
cool stuff. The other thing is, I know some clients that their family loved one used a certain condiment, and they went and got the biggest jar of that they could find, and they set that right in the middle of the table, and everyone who walked in burst out laughing. They thought it was the
Amazing.
funniest thing. The other thing we can do is bring them to the tree. Put things that remind you of
That's
them.
what we
Erica
do.
definitely has a generally ornament
ornament?
hanging on the tree, right?
Yeah.
One of the other things that I quite often share with clients is they sell very inexpensively the clear glass bulbs, Reneé, and you can buy those. You can fill them with love notes for your loved one. You can fill them. The kids can write notes and put them in there in the glass balls. You can put the
brilliant.
year on them,
That's brilliant.
and
I love
then
it.
and then every year you could just write a little note.
Yeah.
Of, this is what happened this year.
That is so fantastic.
Bring your loved one to the holiday with
Yeah.
you. You're not leaving them behind.
Yeah.
Bring them with you.
Oh my gosh, we're so doing that.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
We're so doing that because when we do our tree every year, there's little things that
Yeah.
an ornament from Nick or somebody else that's left.
Yeah.
And as I put them on the tree, sometimes it's tough and I have little tears.
Yes.
And other times it's just like, oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful feeling.
The other thing, I have a client and his wife loves roses. And so this year he put red roses all over his Christmas tree.
Oh, that's great.
So he only did one thing different, but
Yeah.
it is filling his heart.
Yeah.
It reminds him of his wife. And he put all the regular ornaments, and I just saw it today, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And it's so beautiful.
That's so meaningful.
Yeah. But that was just one little twist, one little change, one little thing saying, I know this is going to be hard,
Right.
but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it in honor of you. I'm
Yeah.
bringing you to the holiday with me.
Fantastic. I love that.
Isn't that cool?
It's a great
That's
idea.
so cool.
I hope these help you guys.
Yeah, I love that
really
we're
do.
talking about these. I really do love that we're talking about it. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, my friends, we're going to talk about different types of losses and griefs, things you could be grieving during the holidays. It's not just death.
Nope.
And even though you and I experienced death, we've experienced other things as well. So we
yeah.
want to talk about that and then how we're going to approach the holidays with that.
Yes.
My friends, we'll see you right back here after the break.
Life's not meant to feel complacent. It's meant to make you feel alive. The youth ministry at the Church on the Way Santa Clarita believes that students can belong to the group where we will help them believe they have a purpose in Christ and become all that He has created them to be. We want to see God's power come alive in our generation. We love meeting new people, so come hang out with us. Doors open at 6 p.m. and service starts at 7 every Wednesday night. For more information about the Church on the Way Santa Clarita, including service times and what's happening through the end of the year, visit tcotwsc.org.
Fruit arranged like flowers? What a delicious idea! Edible Arrangements specializes in creating a variety of fresh fruit arrangements overflowing with fresh, hand-designed fruit and filled with strawberries, pineapple, grapes, cantaloupe, honeydew, and seasonal favorites. Made to order in a size you select and ready to eat and enjoy. You can even add chocolate to any arrangement. Edible Arrangements is always fresh, always appropriate, and always appreciated. Order yours today, 253-0052 or ediblearrangements.com. Edible Arrangements is on Soledad near Bouquet Canyon.
Aloha, friends! Go check out Honu Coffee, home of the best cold brew coffee. What makes their coffee special is how their organic coffee beans are infused with nitrogen to create a smooth and delicious cup of coffee. You'll also find traditional bold coffees and island-inspired signature drinks. They're the perfect place to catch up with friends or just relax with your favorite cup of joe. Honu Coffee on Lyons and Walnut in Newhall. Stop by and say aloha.
We all know sometimes people lose their way. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, the Way Out Recovery SCV may have the answers you've been waiting for. The Way Out is the premier intensive outpatient treatment center serving Santa Clarita. Asking for help is the first step. Call The Way Out today, 661-296-4444. That's 296-4444 for a private free assessment. The Way Out is an accredited, affordable outpatient program that accepts most insurance. Call us at 661-296-4444 or check us out online at thewayoutrrecoveryscv.com. Quit battling with yourself. Ask The Way Out for help today.
Now FM, 98.1 FM and AM 1220, your hometown station.
Hey friends, welcome back. You are right here at KHTS, your hometown station, and you are listening to the Grief Recovery Hour with Sharon Brubaker. I am an advanced certified grief recovery specialist, and I am so glad you came back. I have an amazing guest. Her name is Reneé Kaehny, and we are talking about grief.
Right, and thriving through the holidays.
And loss and thriving through the holidays. Two of our favorite subjects, which has been really cool. And so the first segment, we talked all about how to get through the holidays and some ideas. We're going to continue that going. But we also wanted to talk about other types of losses, not just death.
Right.
There are many other types of losses that a person can experience.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that because I'm a hairdresser in town, so I talk to a lot of people, and just in our own family and friends and personally even just recently. So we have a lot of things going on. So, you know, loss can be your job. That's huge.
Divorce. Pet loss. You know, none of it's little. It might be different, but it's still loss. It's huge.
Relationships. Gosh, just so much, you know, and I want people to understand that your loss might, maybe it's not that you didn't lose a child or you didn't lose, you know, a mother or whatever. Whatever yours is yours. Yeah. And that's important and significant, and it matters.
And it's going to tilt the view of the holidays, no matter what that is, if you're going into it. Sometimes this loss could have been from a long time ago, right?
Oh, yeah.
And just being at the holidays is going to be a trigger. That's what we were talking about in the first segment. But the one that you and I really love is getting together with the family.
Yeah.
For the holidays. It's always tricky, isn't it?
It's so tricky. You just don't know.
The anxiety that it brings up?
Yeah. You know, I mean, I've been having that just even going shopping.
Right.
You know, it's been 17 years since I lost Nick, and we've had a lot of other losses since that, just like many of you, you know, whether all those different variety pack of things we can have in our life as humans. But, you know, I find myself sometimes just, you know, going to Target or something and just being in a crowd all of a sudden. I didn't normally have that type of anxiety.
Right.
But sometimes I just don't want to get eye contact. Sometimes I just want to be invisible.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just too overwhelming. And when it comes to the family anxieties, you don't know what everybody else is dealing with, too.
Yeah.
So what are they bringing literally to the table?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And then the angst of knowing that I got to go see Uncle Charlie. And last time I saw him, we got into a big fight. And I know he's going to be over there today.
Yeah.
And I'm not reaching out to anybody who has an Uncle Charlie. I just grabbed that name out of thin air.
You shouldn't talk about my uncle like that.
Yeah, right.
It's not that bad.
What about being around family and you may have stopped drinking recently, and you know that's going to be your loss that you're bringing to the family event? I would say, Reneé, that have a plan. We've been talking about having a plan, but you can have I'm not going to drink. I'm going to get to the family at 12, and I'm leaving at 3. I'm getting there at 12. If anything happens, I'm leaving. Have a plan, right?
Maybe have your little, not guard up, but knowing, like, if it's politics.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I just don't want to talk about that.
Exactly.
And I had to learn, too, also, like, just even things about certain losses, whether it was my son or stuff. Some days it's okay. I didn't have this boundary. And I felt like if somebody asked me a question, I had to answer it.
Right.
In, you know, whatever detail that
cool.
I felt. And I had to tell myself finally, like, it's okay to say, you know, I just don't want to talk about that. Whether it's politics, a loss, just whatever that past yuck is that somebody wants to drag back up again. It's like, you know what? Today's a new day. And that's what I want to focus on.
And that's twofold. And I love that you said that. I so love that you said that. Sometimes I want people to know it's okay to ask, because some people have never been asked about their loss. So that's okay. But be okay if the griever says to you, I don't want to talk about that. You need to be okay with it. And don't take it personally. It's not about you.
Right.
It's about where they're at. It has nothing to do with you. So, I'm so glad you brought that up. That's really, really important. Yeah. Some people out here in our community and our friends have recently lost a job, or their finances are not where they want them to be, which is causing a lot of undue stress.
A lot.
And they're trying to figure that out.
Yeah. And that's tough.
It's tough, especially if you have little ones at home.
Yeah. So, you know, I think, and that's not really something you're going to share with the family. Oh, we're having a real big struggle right now.
Yeah.
But I think that being as many people I talk to on a daily basis in my chair, I would say that the majority of people are having some type of stress, financial stress. I mean, just think about it. You and I both had life happening. You know, I just left the salon around over here. You had stuff happening. We both bolted in the door last second. I could barely breathe. And, you know, it was like, sit down, let's go. You know, and that stress is just, we put on ourselves sometimes.
Exactly.
You know? And so compound that with holidays, compound it with family, compound it with loss. It's something, you know,
it's like, so over the top,
it's over the top. And so then it's like, let's just give ourselves some grace.
Right.
You know, what's the worst thing? Let's just slow it down. Like, give ourselves grace.
If I had to give the most important tip through our segment here, it would be honest. Be honest with where you're at.
Absolutely.
Acknowledge where you're at, and be okay with the fact that maybe you can't get it all done. And maybe it's not going to be the Christmas it was last year, but that's okay too.
Right.
Right?
We put so much pressure on ourselves to be okay sometimes.
Exactly. And I think that it's important to tell people what you want as far as the holidays are concerned, especially if you're changing the tradition.
Right.
But also tell them what you don't want. Tell them what you don't want. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go there. I don't want to be that person. And that's part of being honest. We tell the truth about ourselves always, right?
Right. Like you said about the drinking. If you want to tell somebody, you know what, I'm just not drinking. You may say I'm not drinking today or tonight or whatever. It's your story. It's your challenge or your non-challenge, whatever it may be.
Exactly.
But I don't think you need to explain everything always.
Yeah.
You know, and that's our choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now, Reneé, one of the things that you and I first talked about when we first met was connecting with the earth. And I love that about you. You love to tell everybody what you do. You love to take your shoes off.
I love to take my shoes off. So when my son Nick passed, I went through a period of time, and when you have big losses, sometimes it also messes with your relationships and some other things that come into play. So I got through this period where I started stuttering, and I didn't know why. And so I went and talked to a therapist, and I was like, what is this? I don't know what this is. I don't do this. And she said, basically, I hadn't taken care of myself. I hadn't filled up my tank. And so she said, you're completely depleted, and your body's shutting down, and this is one way for it to let you know. And I knew it. We all know when we're doing it, you know. You're not eating right. You're not exercising. You're not doing stuff that you need to do to strengthen yourself, I guess we'll say. So one thing she told me about is getting out in nature.
Yeah.
So at that time, I would go for walks, but I put in earbuds, and I stopped doing that. So now I can hear the rustling of the leaves. I could hear the birds singing, and I feel connected in nature. And then I realized, like, taking my shoes off, there's a whole study about this, but you take your shoes off and connect yourself to the ground. And it could be just your hands in the soil, digging and pulling out weeds. Oh, that's so medicinal. Like, just, not medicinal, what's the word? It's
Therapeutic.
Therapeutic. Could be both, I guess.
Yes, it could
Depends
be.
on what kind of weeds you're pulling
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
I don't know. But, pulling out weeds and getting my hands in the soil, getting my feet on the ground, it connects you again, and it grounds you, and it actually helps lower your inflammation in your body. It's proven scientific.
Wow.
So when we started wearing rubberized shoes, we stopped that grounding process.
Wow.
So you actually have to be mindful and do this. And it's another way of meditating. You're just and I can do that and just be, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for the wind. Thank you for the birds.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it makes all the difference.
All that total gratitude.
Yeah.
The other thing is that sometimes you won't feel like you want to go there, but just step out onto your front porch
Just
without
go
your shoes
outside.
on. You just got to go that far.
Take a deep
Today, breathe, right?
Just breathe. My God, breathing.
Yeah. Today I
Mindful
just got to
breathing.
step out onto the step and
Yeah.
just say, this is okay. This
Yeah.
is all I can do.
That's one step.
Yeah.
One step.
Yeah.
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 And that breath makes all the difference.
And taking a walk, I think, is so cool. Being with nature and being by yourself and just really honing in on where you are. And it's a great advice also if the family function is getting too overwhelming. Go outside.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times, Erica, my sister, would just go sit on her front porch. She's got 4 rocking chairs out there. And when it became too much, she would just go sit on the front porch.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool because it started everyone would be like, where's Erica? And then someone would say, oh, she's on the porch. And one person would go, the next person. The next you know, there would be 30 of us. But just sitting on the porch, just talking. But it was calming.
And it changes the atmosphere.
It changes the atmosphere.
It's instantaneous.
Yeah. It's literally you taking control of the situation. I know there's going to be so many of you that are going to struggle through this holiday. And again, I just keep wanting to say this. We're sending you good energy through this time for you to make it through. Journaling.
Oh, I love that.
Journaling is a great idea. It's a great release.
Yep.
It's a great release of the pain, the energy. Journaling the whole holiday. All the things that are different, that are new, that are more.
Yeah. You'd be surprised at the things that you write out.
That you really write out.
I remember that after my mom passed, I wrote, it was just said on there, how long is this going to last?
Yeah.
How long is this pain? How long will this hurt?
Yeah.
And I didn't know. And I went back a year later, and it was so different.
Yes.
I was like, okay, I did it. I made it.
I made it. I was able to, I got through that part. Yeah, because grief is definitely something we get through. I think the year that my dad died on Thanksgiving, which was also his favorite holiday and my favorite holiday. And so on the 1-year anniversary of my dad's death on Thanksgiving, I got up and wrote a letter to him.
Oh, that's great.
And I just wrote what I was doing that was different, what I was doing that was more, how much I missed him. And then as all my brothers and sisters were texting me saying, I can't do this, I shot the letter to each one of them. And I said, this is what I did. I suggest you do the same. And writing that letter was huge for me. It really helped.
I bet.
It was like it brought him to the day.
Yeah.
And it let me get some release. So if
love
not
it.
even doing the journal, but just writing a letter to someone or
great.
even the situation. It could be, hey, job that I just lost at the holiday time.
Right.
You could write that letter.
Right.
You may
Yeah.
wake up mad that morning.
Right, I'm really pissed off today.
Don't feel trapped.
Yeah.
Don't feel trapped at this time of year. Don't feel like you don't have a way out. There's always one little thing you could do. Even if you can't go outside, you can look out the window, right?
Yeah.
There's always something that we can do.
Yeah.
If you're strong enough, some people may be strong, may not be, but pull out old photo albums and share about those pictures. I love what you were sharing earlier about having the gratitude box and the thankful box. We could, a few years ago, I had a client and she put out a jar right in the entry hall with pieces of paper and she had everyone write about her son. write a note to her son for that day, and she got to read them later, and it made her feel really good to know that everyone that came to her house were thinking of her son, but different memories that they had.
Yeah.
And it filled her heart. And then she placed them all in a book for that, and she had photos from that day, and she placed them all in a book.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Isn't that cool?
I love that.
Yeah. We're only limited by our imagination, I
Right.
think, on how much we want it to be.
Those are
What
great
about
ideas.
adopting a family that may be in need? Bringing someone in. Having guests that you know, okay, I know Bob and Suzanne from down the street don't have their kids. Why don't I invite them over?
Yeah.
How
Getting
cool
out
is
of
that?
getting out of our own heads,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Giving back, going out, doing something. Even if you can't go out, like you said, whether it's send a card to somebody,
Yeah.
or a donation. I know there's so much going on in the community, where you can give back.
Right.
That really helps a lot. It takes us out of our own heads,
Yeah.
out of our own hearts for a little bit.
How cool is that?
Yeah. I think
really
that always helps.
going to a family that's less fortunate than you and bringing them gifts
Right.
in the name of your loved one.
Right.
I think that is just so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
What about making the favorite dish of your loved one that you knew they loved, even if it's cereal and milk? I don't know.
Yeah.
That morning you might get up and have Tony the Tiger and milk because they loved it.
I love that. I'll tell you what, a friend of mine, they did that. All the girls that had lost their mothers in the past, there's a lot of us. So they got together and they all did their mom's favorite dish. And I just thought it was so cool,
Oh, man.
So there's so many things. Like you said, it's just our imagination
Yeah.
and how we want to get through it.
Yeah.
You know?
And that is so cool. What you just brought up also is that being with other people that have had that experience, grievers need to talk and they need to be listened to and heard with respect. Can you imagine being in another room full of other women? How amazing is that? I'm sure you can't imagine, but being in a room full of women or being in a room full of other grievers that know that your heart is broken and that they're there to support you, right?
Yeah.
Because I think the biggest thing is that when we're talking about thriving is that you don't have to just survive, right, Reneé?
Right.
You don't have to just get through it.
No.
It can be something really special. It can be something so out of the ordinary, even one little thing that's going to make a difference for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the whole thing is making a conscious effort, to say, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get through this and I'm going to create new memories.
Yeah.
Or do something for somebody else. And that just, you get so much more out of it. The more you give, the more you do. The endorphins, we get more when we help somebody else. Yeah. So that will liven it up a little too.
Absolutely. There's
Lift
definitely a lot of senior centers out here that have no one visiting them. And there are a lot of the food pantry. There's a lot of places in Santa Clarita we can reach out to.
Yeah, we have a homeless shelter out here that you can go on their website, actually Bridge to Home,
right?
And it gives you a list of needs. And sometimes there's kids or teenagers out there too. So there's a lot we can do, Yeah. And if you guys want suggestions, send us a note.
Yeah.
We'll tell you some of our favorites.
Right.
There's some really great ones out here that we can share with you.
For sure. One of the things I want to talk about is keeping our loved one alive for our little ones. So some tips that I have is talk about your loved one, use their name, talk about Grandma. Grandma's not here today. But last year when Grandma was here, remember she got you these chocolate-covered strawberries, and remember how much you love them. Right. Share those stories. Right. Another tip is having them make an ornament for Grandma to hang on the tree, right?
Yep.
Having them write a letter to Grandma who's not there this year,
yeah.
right? Or even just making a memory book with pictures of Grandma and giving it to them as their gift.
I love that.
It's our job to keep our loved one alive for the little ones.
And you can read their favorite book.
Read their favorite book.
Tell stories about them.
You could role play.
Yeah.
What it was like when, Nick was around, and these are some of the things you guys used to do together.
Yeah.
There's so many things. We're only limited by our imagination. I know Jordan, my nephew, was 3 years old when Austin died. Austin is absolutely 100% alive for Jordan. Jordan talks about Austin as if he has been with him his whole life. It's so cool to hear him share stories about Austin. Some of them he wasn't even there for, or absolutely there's no way he could remember.
Right.
But it's so cool to hear him talk about him because we kept him alive in his eyes. That's what happens.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we get scared and we don't want to share about our loved one where the kids are concerned, but they're going to do what they see us do.
Right.
And they're going to grieve the way they see us grieve.
Yeah, we went through that. Now, what we do with Bronson is so much different than, because my daughter was 10 when Nick passed. Back then, I didn't have the tools. I didn't know. So I didn't talk about as much. And so she doesn't talk about as much.
Yeah.
Now, with Bronson, he's grown up and the pictures around the house, and he sees it. He talks about him like he was just here yesterday.
Right.
He knows the stories. He knows how to do these things. He talks about it. His Uncle Bruno just passed away, our friend I mentioned. And he was like, oh, this is what he gave me last Christmas.
Yeah.
And, and he gets sad for a moment. And that's okay because it's healthy. It's so much healthier than how we dealt with it in the past.
Yeah.
I would much rather see a tear out of him than him not be able to express his feelings and have that hurt and hold it in.
It is so important for us to process the pain, to process the grief, to allow it to come through us, to feel it, to feel those vibrations in our body, allow it to happen, and almost like just sit outside of ourselves and watch it happen, number one. But I think the second most important thing is allowing your kids to see you experience it.
Yes.
Because it's our responsibility to teach them that we're going to be okay.
Right.
We're going to be okay. That grief is normal and natural, and this is how we get through it.
Yes.
100%.
It's a huge gift we can give our kids.
Yes.
Trust me.
Hey, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back for our last segment, we're going to quickly talk about some traps that we can fall in through to the holidays, and we're going to leave you with our number one tip for thriving through the holidays. So stay tuned. See you right back here after the break.
My favorite restaurant in Santa Clarita? Salt Creek Grill, of course. Great food, neat atmosphere.
For a business lunch or romantic dinner, I'll always go to Salt Creek.
Hi, I'm Greg Amsler, owner of Salt Creek Grill. We have created Salt Creek to provide you with the most comfortable and inviting restaurant in Santa Clarita. Enjoy fresh mesquite grilled fish, aged steaks, and the best chops imaginable. There's entertainment every Friday and Saturday night, and we have the best Sunday brunch in town. Salt Creek is on Town Center Drive in Valencia.
Santa Clarita Valley residents now have greater access to the excellent physicians and high-quality medical services for which Providence Holy Cross is known. Providence Holy Cross Health Center in Santa Clarita features state-of-the-art cancer and imaging technologies, as well as board-certified physicians in a variety of medical specialties. Quality and compassion from a healthcare provider you can depend on. For more information, call 1-888-HEALING or visit us at providence.org.
Questions about your water bill? SCV Water is available to answer your questions and help you understand your water bill. They can provide the tips and tools you need to use water more efficiently. Visit yourscvwater.com to manage your account and to pay your bill. Their customer service representatives look forward to helping you. That's yourscvwater.com.
My tile is 20 years old and it makes my house look 20 years old.
For quality custom kitchen, bath, and tile, trust the professionals at Southern California Tile.
Hi, I'm Cheryl, owner of Southern California Tile and Home Center, and I invite you to come look at the wide selection of tile in our store. I offer you personalized one-on-one service and help you see the many beautiful possibilities for improving your home.
Get some style at Southern California Tile.
In Placerita, by the entrance to Masters College.
There's a very good reason Embrace Your Smile Orthodontics has been voted #1 orthodontist in Santa Clarita 8 years in a row.
Honestly, it's our team.
Dr. Megan LaCornu.
I think for me, what makes it stand out is when I have patients that come up to me and say, we have never been in a doctor's office that feels like this. Our team is a family, and we really get along, and we are really passionate about what we do, helping our patients get the smiles they want and deserve.
Dr. Megan LaCornu of Embrace Your Smile Orthodontics.
Embrace your smile.
EmbraceYourSmile.com.
Santa Clarita's hometown station.
Now FM, 98.1 FM, and AM 1220, your hometown station.
Hey friends, welcome back. You are right here at KHTS, your hometown station, and you are listening to the Grief Recovery Hour with Sharon Brubaker. I'm an advanced certified grief recovery specialist, and my amazing co-host today is Reneé Kaehny, and we are talking about thriving through the holidays, not just surviving. On our last segment here, we want to give a quick tip out for the landmines that we can walk into at this time of year. So there are tons. Sometimes we try to do everything we can to avoid this pain and get away from this pain. And we will do anything we can. We call it STIRBing, short-term energy relieving behaviors. And I know the trap caught me, and I definitely was over-drinking heavily at this time. I'm willing to admit that, because I wanted the pain to go away.
Right.
I was going to do anything I could to get the pain to stop. We can overeat, right?
Yeah.
Oversleep.
Yep.
Over-isolate. We can do video games. Think about that. Just avoiding doing video games.
Sitting on social media too much.
Oh, my gosh. That one's huge.
Yeah, that can be a little devastating if you're not careful.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Overeating sugar.
Yeah.
You know.
That's easy.
Drugs. Doing drugs. Having any one of our OCD feelings come up, and just the cleaning of the house, wanting to avoid, wanting to control food, all of those things can come up at this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So be aware. Acknowledge that your heart is in pain. Acknowledge that these are some of the things you normally use to cope.
Right.
And that this year you're not going to use them to cope. Allow the urge to come up and feel it, and absolutely don't bow down to it. And even if you just let the urge sit there for 5 or 10 minutes, I'm not going to run in there and get that glass of wine right now. I'm just going to sit here and feel this pain for a minute, and it's okay. And know that processing pain will not kill you.
Right.
Yes. Processing it will not kill you.
You might feel like it at the moment.
Yes, it does.
But you'll get through it.
You will get through it. And the biggest thing is you let it, you sit in that pain for 10 minutes, and then the next time it comes up, it may not be 10 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to give a shout out about that. Just be aware of it. These holidays can turn on you so quickly. You're already got a broken heart. You're already with the family that's giving you angst. You're already feeling that pressure. And boom, the next thing you know, you've been overserved, and you had no intention of going there.
And the regret's not worth it.
No.
We both remember that.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah.
Just know we did it.
And the next morning's probably not going to feel that great
No,
either.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing I want you to know is that you may possibly cry.
Oh, yeah.
And that's okay.
Right.
Tears may or may not be a sign of grief. But it's okay to cry, and it's okay to show that emotion.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And people expect it. They understand it.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to get through it. And then you can actually talk about what you're feeling.
Yeah.
You know, and it's okay to reach out. This is something that took me a long time, is to be able to reach out to a friend and say, you know what, I'm really struggling today.
Yes.
And you know what? We all want to help one another. We're humans. We're connected. And they will understand, and they're not going to judge you. Well, be careful who you do it to, but, you know, if somebody you feel safe with, of course. But you can send a note to somebody. If you're better texting or calling, tell them you're struggling.
Yeah.
You know, just don't sit in it. You're not alone. You know, you can reach out to us here. Send us a note. We are here for you.
We're willing to listen.
We have a couple tips, too. We're
going to leave our tips right now. I'm going to put some tips in the Facebook post, so I'll put those in
there.
there.
We'll send you guys notes.
But, Reneé, we're going to leave them with our number one thrive advice for the holiday.
Yes. Can we start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so back to mine is get outside. As soon as the air touches your face, you'll feel connected again. It just takes that moment just to take you out of that situation where maybe all of a sudden you can't breathe, or you feel like having that, or start over drinking or drinking, or whatever it may be that is your trigger. It just takes a moment. It'll ground you. It'll feel so much better.
You'll be thriving.
You'll be thriving.
You'll be thriving through the gratitude and the beauty of that. I love that one.
Yeah. And feeding yourself well.
Yes.
You know, it all begins, feed yourself well, feed your bodies well. It's, through the holidays with all junk around.
Yeah.
It makes a difference what
Stay
you're
hydrated.
eating and stay hydrated, because that healthy food will keep your body going and keep your brain functioning better.
Yes, for sure. I guess she thought we were going to take them out. I think mine is let go of the perfectionism.
Yeah.
It's not going to be perfect. I'm here to tell you right now, it will not be perfect, and that's absolutely okay. Mm-hmm. You will not have the perfect tree.
Right.
You will not have the perfect gift wrap. You will not have the perfect amount of guests at your event. You will probably forget something you wanted to put on the tree for your loved one, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That is okay. It will be perfect for you and your family that time and that moment.
Yeah.
And be okay with that.
Don't beat yourself up.
Don't have any should-dos for the holiday.
Right.
Let it happen. Go into it. Feel it. Experience it. And we have to go through it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's my perfect tip for thriving through the holidays. So, my dear friend Reneé, where can people find you?
I work at Priscilla's Salon on Newhall Ranch, and I am a holistic hair and beauty expert. So I help people beauty from the inside out. So it's all about trying to help enhance everybody's lives.
And part of that is this part.
Yeah.
Just having
totally
conversations with people.
And listen to
because when
people.
they sit in the chair, everyone is dying to talk, and they want
Right.
to hear about that.
Right. And everybody's got a story.
Everybody has a story.
Everybody's got a past, everybody's going to have a present, and everybody's going to have a future. You have stories. Don't be ashamed. Share it. Have fun with it. We're here for you.
That's so cool. Thank you
Share
for
the
sharing
love
that.
here.
Okay, before we go, I want to let everyone know this is my last show of 2018. I will not see you guys or have you as my guests until next year. How about that, Shane?
We're going to miss you, Sharon.
Yeah. But I want to let everyone know that Reneé and I are sending you out good energy, and so is Shane. We're sending you good energy for the holidays. We know you can get through this, and know that we are thinking of you at this time.
Yes.
Happy New Year, everyone, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you for having us.
Yay.